Hello, I'm Chris, and welcome to another edition of Enlightened Espresso with Master Hang Chung. Always correct me on tell me again,
Hang Chang.
Hang Chan,
Yes.
and you tease me for my accent, but I'll get it right one of these days.
Okay.
Where we'll discuss everyday issues that we all deal with from a Buddhist perspective, from your perspective, which has helped me over the last 28 years,
Sure.
as you know. Um, I hear this a lot from other people, and I experience it myself. My thoughts are always racing, and I go from one thought to another, and even sleeping becomes hard because I can't shut down my mind. My son, who's on social media and has TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and everything else, experiences the same thing. He talks to me about it. What can you talk about that from a Buddhist perspective and how you deal with it?
Your story remind me of the grandmaster who was asked by the students, "How do I get my mind really clear and enlightened?" And the grandmaster said, "Yeah, your mind's like a monkey, jumping from one place to the other place." So maybe your son had experienced that, and the jumpy mind is have a name. It's called monkey mind, right? But the monkey mind is deeper than just jumping around. It's the mind that maybe lost direction because we have influenced so much about all the not only Facebook, TikTok, but the nuance inside where they don't just simply talk to your heart, your soul, but now it get deeper, deeper into your body. Um, when you look at something, you think, oh, I'm looking at something, but actually it was not looking at something. Something is actually grabbing your mind, and that's what's called monkey. The monkey have no mind of its own. It's jumping from one place to the other place. It cannot direct itself into one thing. And so when we read a book, yes, read a book, and you follow something, your mind follow. But nowadays we are not doing it anymore. We read a piece of a thing on the phone, and we go like this very fast, and we maybe TikTok, we're just scanning all the pictures. We no longer just settle and look at it. We lost the very deep direction, and the direction is meaning. How do we connect the meaning? So we don't go for meaning anymore. We go from what is more exciting.
So then let's talk about that because superficial is a term that
Superficial,
I've heard.
yes. Superficiality is one, but just more than superficiality because you lost the very sense of being yourself, the sense of being. The sense of being is very deep. It's not superficial because when you feel who am I, you found that being, suddenly you realize that you don't need to run after anything. Maybe not only this generation, but many generations, we find that monkey mind always active, very active, always looking outside, not looking inside, looking on the surface, not looking in deep, and lost direction. But more than that is confused mind. Confused meaning we be running and dictated by egocentrism. Does that word make sense to you?
Yes.
Meaning everything's about ego, everything is about me. And so you go on the Facebook and you speak the truth. That's not important. It's how much you get the like. So the like and the truth are two different things. And we are talking about how cultures have building the monkey more than the enlightened mind. In opposite to the monkey mind is enlightened mind. Enlightened mind. What is enlightened mind? The enlightened mind is a mind that you don't follow the egocentrism. You are the light, enlightened. You are the light, and you be very still. And like the reflection, everything is reflect upon the surface. And because of that, you become very deep yourself. So this is a very interesting time in our history where the monkey mind is so active and we're supported by a culture just simply skin deep. Make sense?
It does, and you talk about the light and what's inside of you. So when you start to access that, and that comes from stillness, from slowing down. Talk to me about that.
it's not quite slowing down, because when we meditate, it's still very fast inside. But what it is that you have the core that you return to. That core is the guiding principle. And the guiding principle, for example, like a tree, so it's goes straight like this, but the branch going out. So the monkey always jump on the branches. The monkey never holding on to the trunk. So we lost the trunk. We go after the branches. Meditation, or actually any Buddhist practice, is going back to recognize the trunk and stay with the trunk. Stay with the trunk. You're not a monkey. You're a human being, Homo sapien. But if you let go to the trunk, then you go into the branches and become a monkey. So the mind, if you focus, and you can really see that, the more you focus, the more you look inside, but you integrate every single thing, like the branch, bring everything together. And therefore, it's not the information that make you lost, but the direction that you lost. So you bring back into this very simple, the core. And the core usually be discovered easily by meditation. So what is meditation? Sitting very quiet and let your inside speaks to you. Let it unfold very slowly and gently. Now that's when you use the word slow, but actually it's nothing slow. It can unfold very fast. But the point is, we have to let go of the branches in order to go to the trunk. And from the trunk, you go down to the roots. So that's how Buddhist and how meditation was structured. As you go to the roots, your mind becomes very complex, and the thinking and the depth of your soul and your consciousness become very, very profound, because you're not going after anywhere. Mm-hmm. You just go on deeper and deeper and deeper, and yet you see all the structure, you see everything below and above.
I heard you mention the word focus a few times.
Okay.
And when you talk about focus, I know as a child, everyone would tell me focus, focus. And I use it with my boys who are older now, but I'd say you've got to focus. But no one ever really taught me, and I never really taught them focus and what focus was. So talk to me about focus and what that means to you.
Okay. To focus is to lock your mind into one object, a mental object. When you read a book, then you want to finish that book. Don't go anywhere. When you listen to someone, you focus listening to that one. Don't listen to the music. Focus is the effort that you bring all the mental energy into a direction. And you have very clearly a mental object that you can put all the energy and zoom it into it. Concentration is another process. You concentrate, you put all your effort, you know it where it is, but you put all the effort, all the energy, and you dedicate the whole time with it, not thinking about anything else. We see that, and it's interesting that you mentioned the monkey mind, the focus. So as I begin, I said that the monkey mind is jumping around everywhere, and then I got on to tell you that, hey, don't jump onto the branches, but get to the root, the trunk. And now we get to the focus. The focus thing is the energy that flow inside the trunk, inside the tree. So the focus is the very core of how we become ourselves. So when we lose that focus, focus on reading a book, focus on doing something, focus on our life, focus on our life, we call it mission. When we lose that, then the monkeys now going back to the forest. It's really monkey business.
And are people, when their minds are racing, is that, I mean, can you have a satisfied racing mind? I mean,
never.
Why never? That's pretty absolute. Talk to me.
Okay, to say never is kind of relative. Never, because the more you're racing, the more you're racing. You can have a focus. You cannot have a core. It's like the water. You throw the water on the floor, the waters go everywhere. A person who do car racing is very focused on the road.
Right.
The mind doesn't race. The car race, but the mind doesn't race. A person who sitting and waiting, hunting. The mind is already focused. Okay, he cannot move. He can't do anything. You gotta focus on the animal. Focusing is everything. The monkey jumping around, and that mind is jumping around. Then if you hold the gun, you cannot hold the gun. Very, very still. If you race, you cannot focus on the road. So um, that's why focus is number one in making the monkey become monk, or maybe not monk.
How would we get started? So let's say I'm watching and I want to know what's the first step.
The very first step is this, that you need to recognize that it's the monkey mind or the unfocusing mind is destroying your life or destroying even the joy. For example, you go to eat lunch, but you don't really eat lunch because you're still checking all the email and the text, and you eat and you do two things at the same time.
You're not where you are.
You're not where you are. So the first thing is recognize that, yeah, it destroyed my life, destroyed the beauty, and it destroyed even the simple joy of eating or drinking or just talking. You'd be so bothered when you talk to someone and someone pick up the phone and text and talk to you at the same time, right? So we need to see that how the monkey might destroy our lives, but nobody could say it as it is. People don't see that the destruction of their lives. They think that's cool. Okay, you talk to me and you have the phone and text at the same time. Cool, multitasking. So that another thing was very monkey business, that we label things differently than what it is. So the first type, recognize how it destroys our lives and our joy. And number two, sit. Just sit down a little bit, having one simple thing like you count your breath in, count one, breath in, count two. Simple thing. So your mind can slowly find a little simple joy of being focused. That little joy is so important.
Just experience it for a moment.
You experience it, and you feel that, wow, I didn't realize this is, you just sit here and do nothing, but just count the breath is a joyful already. Then maybe you start to ask question around, can you teach me meditation somewhere? Find someone who can teach you how to use the mind a little better, use the thoughts. In Buddhist term, we don't call meditation as meditation, we call cultivation of thoughts. So you cultivate your thoughts. You're not, we think meditation, what does that mean? If you cultivate your thoughts. And to cultivate our thoughts have many ways to do it. And we don't need to jump around anymore. Cultivate the thought meaning cultivate. You work on the land. So you're planting the seed. So the seed growing the tree. And you tending the roots and the trunk, the tree, so let it grow. It's a wonderful process. So you recognize the destruction of joy, and then you start to feel a need to be peaceful. Sit, have someone teach you a little bit here and there on meditation, on how you cultivate your mind. See a little bit of the fruit of your work. And then I think the best thing how you get out of the monkey business is get off from the tree, stay on the ground. And stay in the ground meaning be so connected. And you see that if you talk to your son, if you keep talking to him and you ask him to speak to you, then you need to listen. Suddenly you realize that slowly he becomes more and more focused on listening, on speaking. Connection is so important now, and now we are so disconnected because all the panels, the tablets, the phone, disconnect us from human feelings.
So being in the moment and trying it just for just a moment, whether it's through breath or a conversation, that's a good first step in your opinion.
I'm not sure that being in the moment is the first step, because being moment is one of rationalization. Oh, the monkey minds love to have it. Okay, I jump in here the moment. All right, I want to live in the moment, but it doesn't really live in the moment yet until your mind becomes clear. When your mind clear and you don't have a clutterness, then be in the moment is the right place.
So I want to dig into that on the next
Yes,
installment.
please. Yeah.
Thank you again for joining me.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see you next time.